praise. Good morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, Grand Rising. Lord, if you with the battle, but Lord, you've been with me with the battle. We don't really gotta fight no more. Cause Lord, he be working while we silent. We don't even gotta frown no more. So Lord, we've been working on smiling. We don't even gotta frown no more. So Lord, we've been working on energy. Energy. You and me, we make synergy. Grand Rising and good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing, man? I pray everyone is in good spirits. So, I got this new Akashic deck. Truth Oracle cards. I like the design of them, man. There's a lot of cards in here, too. I figured I'd go forward, get a new message out for this morning. For my good morning folk and my Grand Rising folk. You know, like, everybody want to know what authority do they move forward in? You know, let me explain something to you. You, as a human being, are responsible for your destiny. Take your energy and make your waves. Right? Don't let what people think of you hold you back. Because see, somewhere somebody who connected to this it's like maybe people feel you don't take yourself serious or you won't make it, or maybe they feel like what you're doing is some sort of joke. So I encourage you to push forward, right? That's what I do. Creativity. That's an important card this morning. You know, creativity, it helps us bridge the gap. You know, sometimes when you feel like you might be falling out of alignment or you might be falling out of a place that you felt like you were strong, you know, creativity is needed. When you interceding with with different energies and they surrounding your auric field, it's real easy to get tossed and turned. So that's why you gotta be grounded and you gotta embrace your creative aspect. That's what helped me to grow, and that's what helped a lot of people to grow. The ability for you to create your reality, right? Your reality is it becomes your reality. Sure, when you stand in your reality, you're gonna have those that oppose you. You're gonna have those that feel like what you're doing, you know, they're gonna feel like because it's not powered by the spirit that they believe in, that perhaps what you're doing is not effective. Let me explain something. Your individual creative energy, that's what links you to your higher power, your higher source, your God, or your ancestors, or whichever way you choose to view life, right? Your creative aspect, make it healthy. Because it's like when you in creative energy, people who don't understand your level of creativity, they may even accuse you of being distorted to a certain degree. But if you really in your creative aspect, you connected to an authentic vibration, guess what? God is going to move you forward. In spite of what everybody think about you or what everybody stands to have to say about you, if you in your creative aspect, God is going to heal you in that aspect. God is going to move you forward in your creative aspect. It's the way that we connect. Creativity growing. Continuous learning. Come on, man. Like, you know, and that energy right there, growing and continuous learning. As I move throughout my spiritual journey, I feel that being very apparent in my walk because I'm not willing to, uh, I don't have a commitment to what man is offering me in no aspect of any. There's no man, and I'm not saying I can't be taught, I can. Now, when the universe brings me teachers that are worthy, right? Or I allow myself to be taught in many other ways. But nevertheless, it's about growing. I want what's going to grow me and spirit. And my when I feel connected is when I feel like I'm growing. And it requires continuous learning for me. I don't know about for other people, but it's an everyday process of learning something. Is It's going to be moments of indecision when you're growing. I know it is. And you know, I reflect a lot from myself because I like to give you transparency as well. Continuous growing, it doesn't allow you to be trapped and confined, right? Because people want to accuse you of uh, doing things wrong. The minute that you don't do things the way that people want you to do them, they're going to say, well, you're doing them wrong. You know, I stand in reason like this. In my heart, if my heart and the intentions of my heart are pure in the right way, I really don't have time to worry about what others have to say because I'm creating creativity as you should be doing, right? You should be in the mode of being your best creative self, right? And even being willing to accept when when you're wrong. and when a lesson needs to be learned. Continuous learning. It's a learning process. Gentle. When I look at gentle as a rhythm, it's like I feel it's easy. Um, when you're relating to people, it's kind of easier to be gentle. It says gentleness is not weakness, but a powerful force. Treat the world with gentleness, and the world will be gentle in return. It's like the spring breeze that warms and comforts. Wow, that's exactly what I would be trying to say. Like learning how to be gentle in the world is not easy for a lot of people who come from, let's say, a hard knock life. Let's just be real about it. Like you can say be gentle, but your response, it could be defensive, or your response, it could just be by nature a hard response. Well, I've learned and I am learning as I continuously learn that the more I'm able to be gentle, the better the result with people, with even my life, and even with myself. Being gentle with yourself is most important because you can begin to look at yourself as a person that has endured so much that you just got to be hard, or you just got to be prepared or on guard, right? I heard somebody say, and I was watching a movie the other day, and they said, I refuse to be on guard if there's nobody swinging. And that's true. Like being gentle with yourself, knowing when to let your guard down, knowing when, you know, understanding God's protection above anybody's religion or above what anybody has to say, understanding that you have a connection to God. And through that connection, things are going to always work themselves out. And it's going to be the best for you because you're moving through your connection. Everybody wants to establish a connection by committing yourself to certain things. And that's not always the best way. Like, and people going to say, well, you ain't doing this, so you walking without power. But meanwhile, you still walking. So it's something sustaining you. But what people don't realize, and many people will never come to realize, is that everybody in this world is not of traditions of this world. It's some people here who are very alien in nature, meaning they have strange stars that they were born from. They have different type of powers that rest on them, and you don't always know who is who. So be gentle with people. A gift from fate. Fate sometimes surprises us. It may be an opportunity or a person. Cherish these gifts and treat them with gratitude. They will make your life better. You hear me? That's beautiful right there. I love these Akashic record oracles. Fate sometimes surprises us. It may be an opportunity or a person. So somebody, you could be in a relationship, or you could be you can actually be involved with a person that fate has brought you. And maybe you don't see it as that. Because sometimes when people get together, it don't always play out in 3D with harmony. Sometimes it's like it could be disagreements. It could be you even questioning the person that fate has brought you, or the opportunity. Because I'm getting somebody, you got a job, right? And maybe you're not so pleased with the job, and so to speak. But take into consideration this: when fate brought you that job, it was consistent with your need. So you gotta learn how to appreciate it in order for you to get to the next level. See, fate sometimes it brings us opportunity as well as a person. If just say you've been through a lot of relationships where you were scarred and you were hurt, and now fate has brought you someone. And every time something go wrong, you relive the trauma of your past. You're not realizing that fate brought you this person to make it better for you, so that you can have a fulfillment of your destiny. But sometimes we take people for granted because we overlooking a person, and we looking for what fate has to offer. I remember when I was sitting in church one time, I remember a wise man said to me, it was a story about a man that was he was stranded on an island, and a raft came by, and then he prayed, he was praying for God to send him something to get him off the island. So a raft came, and he was like, that's too small. And he basically passed up like a raft, he passed up like a balloon, and then it was a boat, and it was like you had so many times to get off of the island, but you overlooked an opportunity for what you perceive was, God's move or God's grace or God's favor. No, an opportunity or a person. This is what God brings us to assist us. So don't overlook it. They will make your life better. These are Akashic record cards, man. I like them. Affirmative message. Right direction. If anybody just tapping in, I'm doing just a morning read from the Akashic Oracle. I like it. It's a ruminative deck. It got some brilliant energy. Anyway, right direction. Life has to be in the right direction. Think more, try more, and find the right path for you. If you move in the right direction, you will not get lost. You will get closer to success. Yo, I really love that. I love that for us, for myself and somebody. It says, life has to be in the right direction. Think more and try more and find the right path for you. So that's saying, because I'm talking to a person, maybe you in a place where you about to commit to something. But maybe that's not what you should be committing to. Or maybe it is. But it's on you to weigh the balance. It says think more and try more. So give yourself time to think. Be a thinker, if nothing else. Before you be a doer, a shaker, a mover, and most of all, a committer, think. Think about what you're doing. Know what you're getting yourself, especially when you're dealing with higher vibrational energies or metaphysical energies, other earthly and worldly energies, spirits. When you're dealing with that, think first. Don't think commit first. Think first. Because your will, right? When you align your will with an agreement, you stuck in that agreement. There's no such thing as selling your soul. So many people think you can do that. Your soul never belonged to you. But what you can do is you can distract yourself and you can waste your time and your energy in this life's existence. When you align yourself with other world energies or spirits or whatever you want to say, think about what you're doing first before you get into it so that you can know. Don't nobody else have to know, but you gonna need to know. And if you move in the right direction, you will not get lost. You will get closer to success. That's real. See, when you moving in the right direction, that ain't for everybody to know. When you moving in the right direction, there's going to always be somebody standing somewhere saying you moving in the wrong direction. And you know why? Especially when you powerful. See, when you really got spiritual power, people want you to be where they at. They want you to be a part of what they got going on, right? God is higher. The energy of God is much higher than man's religion. Right? That's why I took myself out of religions, right? Because the gifts that you inherit, you can inherit them, but it doesn't require you to commit yourself to things that you don't understand, right? Because then you give those things control over your life and your existence. Keep your will. No matter what inside of your will is a special magic power in your will, right? And you know what it is? That no spirit can influence it. Not even God, the Most High himself. Your will is much powerful, right? It's big power. So be careful with your will, right? That's why I say don't make soulish agreements, right? Make sure you stick to what you stick to. Even when you go into your agreements with these spiritual energies or whatever you do, stick to your agreement and your faith within yourself. Because if you sacrifice it and you let it go, you're going to find yourself confounded, right? In a way, and it's not so pleasing. But if you move in the right direction, you will not get lost. You will get closer to success. But let me explain. You will feel like you are lost at times, and you will feel like success is eluding you, right? Yeah, it feels that way. But boy, oh boy, will I tell you, one thing about moving in the right direction, it's refreshing when you feel your personal power that God gave you come on to you. You understand? When you know that you can move out here in this 3D realm and you don't have to worry about you wronged nobody or you purposely did nothing to go in and put the fix on nobody. Nah, that's moving in your personal power and your personal energy. That's going to lead you to success. The seeds that we sow is the harvest that we're going to reap. Somebody dig that. Because you don't know what people sow. When you sow a seed, it's a little tiny thing, about that big. Dig it? That big. But when you sow it, it grows into something that big. So what you sowing, don't nobody know what you sowing. So don't let nobody come in and till your field. Don't let nobody come in and toil your soil, right? Do what you got to do and lay your seeds out. Because planting your seeds and moving along is putting you in the right direction. Right direction. Okay. Expand your horizons. First, focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts. That's first. I'm going to break this card down. Expand your horizons. First, focus on the positive changes occurring due to your efforts, not the negatives. It said focus on the positive. Because when you do right, let's face it, negative going to occur. It will. When you begin to do right, negative is going to occur, whether it's in your life or it's in the life of somebody else's or it's just somewhere because it's a shift of energy, right? Light and dark can exist together, right? When you have, you charge with negativity, right? Something else is being charged with your energy and from a positive spark. That's why people energy harvest, because they want to spark themselves off of your energy. Now, when you take that energy back and you move into a positive charge, it creates a negative energy in the shift. So you got to understand when you move, things fall apart. When you moving right, when they begin to fall apart, Spirit is saying, focus on the positive changes that are occurring due to your effort. And sometimes it's minimal. You might not recognize it because it might be small, but it's positive. But it could be bombarded by a negative energy that exists around you, right? Then expand your horizon and permit yourself to try something new. So here we go into the place where I struggle. Many of you do, and that's trying new things. Like it's like when I get to there, I feel I got to focus down on my will and make sure what I'm doing is not going to compromise my will. See, I done stood before the biggest of them all with my will, and not and what just know it's going to require you to try something new in order for you to move forward into your spiritual power or your gifting. But think well, right? Think well and process things well. And permit yourself to try something new. That's good. Because that's good energy. Permit yourself to try something new. Many of us struggle with it. I'm learning it. It's slow, but I'm learning. But I'd rather it be slow for me, right? See, I'm not a person that want to rush into things. I don't do that. That's not me. Because I've seen too many people rush into things, and honestly, I see what it costs them, and that's a cost I'm not willing to pay. Like, so permit yourself to try things that are new, expand your horizons. So many positive shifts are in store for you. The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. That spoke to me. Because you might not know, you might not be aware of just how much your change, like I said, is causing things to shift, right? It says so many positive shifts are in store for you. That's because you chose positive. You chose a different energy. And it's going to reflect, it's going to show up. Here we go. Deception. You're not seeing the entire picture of a person or a situation. It may be purposely withheld from you, or you may be choosing to look the other way or betray yourself in some way. It's time to gain clarity. That's deep. That makes me think about places that I have been in my lifetime as well. I gotta reflect through transparency. There was a time when I was involved with a person and I looked at them. And one time when I looked at them, I was like, it's something about this person that's just very, very evil, right? But instead of me noting that, like my spirit made me aware of it, and I moved forward. I moved through it, right? And I never knew who they were. It was withheld from me, right? And that's how God does sometimes. God will withhold information from us about a person. Maybe our heart is not strong enough to take it at the time, or like the card says, maybe we just don't want to acknowledge what it is that we see. We could be choosing to look the other way or betray ourselves. It's time to gain clarity. And that's real. And I'm going to speak that for all of us. Like, it's time to gain clarity, like, who is for you? Because you could be deceiving yourself both ways. You could be looking at somebody that God sent you, and you could be really questioning, like, am I supposed to be with this person? Or you could be looking at somebody that God didn't send you. And you could be like, well, maybe if I get around that. No, look at the level of deception. If you can't look at the person you with and they be transparent about who they are, you gotta question if that's the person you should be with. It ain't about a person's flaws. It ain't about a person's shortcomings, right? It's about what a person is trying to hide from you, because that's deception. If a person come to you and they are who they are, right? You got a choice to work with that or not. But if they honestly being deceptive about who they are, that can't be the person for you, right? Gain clarity. It's time to, right? No doubt. Like, I'm just saying, like, because we try to move forward. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm willing in my life, personally, I feel like sometimes if God calls me to a higher level, I'm a go. So if that means leaving the world behind, I'm willing to go. How you doing, brother Janet? I'm just pulling some oracles, man. Akashic record oracle cards, speaking forth some messages of encouragement. That's about it. The world around you is changing in favor of your intentions. And let me explain something about intentions. Intentions does not mean that you always going to be wrong. Intentions mean that you already have set a course of navigation, right? Meaning I go in and I say, God, I want to do this thing for humanity. You know, I want to make a change and I'm going to do my best, right? Now, you go into that. Now, 3 months down the line, you at your worst point, right? Now, because you already set those intentions, you got to wait back to being right. Like, yea, though I was far off, I was drawn nigh by the blood kind of energy. Like, meaning by you setting your intentions at the beginning, when you stray away, you got the ability to get back, right? Your intentions are important. I ain't gonna lie, intentions are important and you can't see them. They lie within the hearts of men. That's why it's real good. I learned something when I stepped into my spiritual journey. I learned something from the old heads. They told me, you know, when you confused, when you come into contact with people from a spiritual level, ask them, what's your intentions with me? It sets up spiritual boundaries and parameters when you're able to do that. It may not seem like it, but it's something that I use very effectively. And normally when you ask people what their intentions are, spiritually, when they run, they'll run. Or they'll answer, like, what you talking about? Right. No, what are your intentions, right? Because that's a spiritual question. So a person could play around with it if they want. See, a lot of people, they live so dumb and blindly in a 3D. But the truth of the matter is, what we do in the 3D, it be bonding us to spiritual consequences, right? And some people don't have a strong enough will to even understand that. If I ask you what's your intentions, and you go off to telling a lie, well, when you go to perform what it is that's wrong about your intentions, you bind yourself to your own snare. Just a real easy way to protect yourself. I don't have any money either, Brother Janet. I will send you some, but I don't have any. Oh, man. Connection, right? Connections. How do you move forward towards your life's true calling? Do what makes you happy. You heard me. So if you want to move forward into your life's calling, right? Do what makes you happy. Your enthusiasm is what keeps you going. Follow your interests. If it's piqued by something, following these routes will help you discover your life's purpose. Wow, that's a lot of insight. So, because, you know, we all struggle sometimes with what am I here to do? What's my true calling, right? Because your true calling, it might not be what you're doing. Now, your true calling, it should be happiness in that. I'm not going to lie, because a true calling is connected to the divine. And when you connect to the divine and you're doing that kind of work, it should be making you happy. And enthusiasm, it'll keep you going. It does. Sometimes I don't really want to be here doing this, but it's a part of me that has grown to love it. So I find enthusiasm. Even when it seems like there is none, I reach down and I find some. So we have 39 minutes. I'm going to do a little praise break. And then I'm going to jump back in and I'm going to pull a couple more cards. Welcome you all in. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Okay? All right. Rah. Rah. Ahu. Ra. Ahu. Ra. Ahu. Ra. All right, I like to do a little break just to cleanse the energy out. Normally, people that's not really supposed to be around, they disappear during the break. All right, so I'm gonna pour 2 more cards, then we're gonna end this missive. Peaceful. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. Applying light is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaning life, light daily. So every day, find some type of way to be in your creative aspect. Add light to what you're doing. Go learn about some things. Go read some books, right? Don't worry about what people telling you. No, don't be averse to your teachers either. I've been around for quite some time, so I'm a little more different, right? But for my younger generation, apply light to your day, right? And it creates a peaceful and meaningful life. Like, it's not all about dark power and going in the dark and finding out what you can do that's dark. Let's apply lightness, things of light, like what you put in your body. I know around on the Eastern Shore, boy, it's kind of cold outside. How about get some ginger and boil it, drink some ginger tea in the morning, lighten your day up. Read a proverb, pick a verse out of Proverbs, just speak it into your day, read it, right? When you put these kind of energies or for your Pada keys or whatever it is that you tap into, once you read some of it, the light aspect, and put light in your life on a daily, even if it's grabbing light thoughts, you got dark thoughts, grab something light and apply it to your day, right? It doesn't have to be the whole thing at once. You don't have to know end all and be all at once. There's little portions of light. Grab them and add them to your life daily. Spirit says this is a fast way of creating a peaceful and a meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. That's love. Like, sometimes there's a need for you. Woo, thank you, Spirit. Do you know that we can become so repressed with other people's truth that we end up causing anxiety to our body? We end up causing entity attachments in our lower extremities, like our organs and our bowels, because we bottled up and won't release. When God is speaking the truth into you, like, you going to sleep and you waking up. And you waking up with questions. And you waking up like, why do I feel this way? Speak out of it. Speak it. It's a need for you to let it flow out of you, because therein lies a truth that you may not even understand. And until you speak it, you're never going to hear it. You're a listener, okay? It's good to listen. But it's also good to take time to speak. Open up, for the best is yet to come. Open up yourself. Allow yourself to be open and free and expectant. Because if you keep sitting down on your emotions and you keep sitting down on your truth, it's going to create anxiety to your body and your nervous system. And that's not good, right? Learn to listen. And they say if we're not listening to nothing, then what's going to come out of us? So you got to listen. Listening is a sign of respect for others. So it's two dynamics here. Spirit is saying, open up and speak your truth. And Spirit is then turning around and saying, learn to listen. But I'm feeling like Spirit is saying, learn to listen to your inner voice, right? Yet you a person, you can be sitting around listening to what everybody else has to say and what everybody else has to offer. But what is being said to you inside of you? What is it? Don't start entanglements with what other people are saying if it's not resonating with that voice deep within. Listening is a sign of respect for others. Listening without interruption and attentively makes the person feel valued. That's love. I learned to do that early on in life, right? When people talk, even if I don't want to hear it, I have a way of just being like, and sometimes if somebody's going on too much and I'm giving them too much of my attention, I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. Like, man, wow, for real? Okay, all right. And that normally would mean that I'm hoping that they get the drift, that they should wrap it up a little bit. But nevertheless, I learned to listen to others and I gain a lot from it. I know a lot because I listened a lot. Real talk throughout my life. I'm pretty old, right? And I learned what to listen to. Like even when I say I learned what to listen to, let me explain to you what I mean. I learned how to hear what I didn't want to hear because I knew I needed to hear it. And I knew if I listened at some point, it would register. Like I would go listen to religious leaders. I would listen to men of great status, right? Men of great wisdom. I would listen to them. I mean, full-fledged, write down notes, and I would listen to them, right? And I wouldn't always agree with them, but I was wise enough to listen because I understood if I listen, I'm going to learn something in the long run. So I began to listen to even the things that, because what we do that get us wrong, and I feel this is what Spirit's saying, we listen to things up until somebody say something that we don't want to hear, then we turn around. And we determine, oh, that person ain't got no power. Oh, that person. But the whole time, if they got some power, what they said, it's going to resonate to stand and be true in your life, whether you like it or whether you don't. Because if it's truth and it flows through a person, you don't get to decide who tells the truth, right? Oh, that's why it's good to learn how to listen. Because if a man come and tell me, let's just say dummy is as dummy does, right? And I go against that like, oh, he don't know what he talking about. Just because it's still gonna stand true because that's the truth. Dummy is as dummy does, right? So it's like learn how to listen. I heard about God being able to use a donkey to talk when there was no men talking, right? I read that in the Bible, I believe. I also believe it was a verse that said, the truth is going to be spoken even if a rock have to cry out the truth, right? That's deep. So learn to listen. By listening, you can understand the thoughts and needs of others and gain more knowledge and insight. And I listen a lot, especially to my inner voice. Especially when I step here to do this, I'm basically listening to the thoughts of others and listening to other people's lives as I'm sitting here. This is what I'm listening to, right? Downloading from that frequency. Agreement. Acknowledge. I thought it said agreement. Acknowledge. Learn to bless others and then recognize your own efforts and accomplishments as well. This will give you a positive mindset and attract more goodness. So it's good to acknowledge. I would say acknowledge let's start off by acknowledging that we live in a world full of people that have different ethnic backgrounds and different belief systems. Because if we can acknowledge that fact, then maybe we can start respecting and appreciating what it is that everybody see, not only ourselves. Like we can begin to receive people's spiritual authorities and what they feel and how they feel, and it'll stop us from being so judgmental if we move into the energy of acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement. Learn to bless others and recognize your own efforts and accomplishments as well. So that was a full word for this morning. Pray that it resonated with you. God bless you. I'll see you a little later on.